Today on our show, we're going to react to the Superman trailer and do a deep dive on it, completely on the fly, no notes, no preps, fresh reaction. I'm Ben Juan.
And I'm Alex, aka Super Alex.
And this is Superhero Stuff You Should Know. We've been waiting all day on this trailer, man, so I guess we might as well get to it. We have not seen this beforehand. I think this is my very first time doing a live react, because previous times we did videos with trailers or talked about trailers, I had already seen it beforehand, which I know is not as fun for the audience. So we thought we might as well try it out. Both Alex and I said, hey, I haven't done this before. Have you done a reaction video before like this?
Yeah, I did. And I know we were kind of talking about this behind the scenes, but whenever I upload stuff for Night of the Batman, so like I did one for the teaser for this one. I probably won't be uploading this to YouTube because of how weird Warner Brothers is with stuff. So
It's very foreboding for what we're about to do.
Yeah. Well, it's Warner Brothers is a little strict stuff. Not as bad as Disney though. From what I hear, some of the stuff with Disney, they get really strict. Yeah. So anyway.
All right. Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do this.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview you as Superman.
Okay, sure. So she knows.
Mm-hmm.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss Lane.
Oh, this is cute.
Nice. Good.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for what some might. It's a lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions.
Oh, he's Secretary of Defense now?
Funny?
My actions? I stopped a war.
Oh.
Maybe.
Oh, wow.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you
like Golden
illegally
Age.
entered a country.
This is how you're going to be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman.
Ooh.
Oh, so it's
You
confrontational.
consult with the
Yeah.
president.
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of
I
the
wasn't
United States
representing
will cause
anybody
more
except for me.
problems around the world.
And doing good.
Well, they're gonna have to edit this when it goes to the papers.
In the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
Not used to seeing Superman like this. This is interesting.
And there's the Williams theme.
It's kind of buckling under pressure a little bit.
Eyes up here.
Fortress, nice. The engineer. Okay, we're getting to see what they look. Oh, crypto boy. Oh, that's what happens to the robots.
Choices.
Lex in the fortress again.
Yeah.
Your actions.
Where is talking there?
That's what makes you.
Probably the dad.
He's dead. Yeah.
Oh man.
Nice. Terrific.
Yeah. Literally.
He's not a man. He's an it.
Oh, he's othering him.
Focal point of the entire world's conversation.
Yep.
Ooh,
Classic
I like
Lex.
that.
Will not accept that.
Jeez, he's pissed.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
Oh.
Oh, this is good, man. Oh, the hand. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Metamorpho.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
You have a dog?
Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Crypto.
Dude, I can't wait. Wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bravo. Nice. It is a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of, and also a lot of, it's not just fun and games. It's got stuff that seems like of substance to it. Just like the beginning with the interview and the whole thing. Like, I went to another country and stopped a war. I'm just like, I just immediately thought about, Action Comics. Action Comics is the very first
Also,
Golden Age stuff.
because this is obviously taking heavy inspiration from like down to the score, heavy
Mhm.
inspiration from the first like the 70s movie.
Yeah.
This is a lot. We're a long way away from "Do You Like Pink?" with like talking about her underwear and everything, and that much more
Yeah.
romantic kind of like her swooning over him interview and everything. Like this is much more like them butting heads, and so right there,
Mm.
you already know that she knows who he is because he's not in like the Superman outfit there. He's in like his like street clothes. So like that's
Right.
like like a recorded interview. I do
Mhm.
think they're probably like I said earlier, gonna have to probably edit that a little bit. It's like doesn't really paint you in the best light. You're shouting at her everything for the interview.
It's an audio recording too.
Hard hitting journalist. I don't know.
Yeah.
Daily Planet and write a smear campaign.
It's a cool reversal too, because again, we've seen the whole like, oh, he meets Lois Lane on the rooftop, and then there's a bit of an interview, and then they go and fly, and we saw that in '78, and we saw it in Superman Returns, and sure, we're going to see them fly together, like we saw on the other parts, but again, I think it's a smart move, just like it was a smart move with the previous teaser. The first time we saw footage was Superman wounded in the snow, and it seemed like an immediate way of saying like an immediate way to address the critics saying, "Oh, he's too powerful." And now in this one, it's basically saying it's not the same as Superman 78. Like we're twisting that. We're twisting the whole like there's still going to be a relationship with Lois and Clark.
Mhm.
Again, like you said, obviously they know each other in terms of she knows his secret,
Well, we
but
see parts of
this
it too, where like they're
yeah,
like kissing in that apart. It seems like they're I don't know if they're necessarily living together, but they're definitely in a
might be, yeah.
relationship at that point.
Yeah, yeah. So I like that there's this conflict because again, you need to have drama, but it doesn't have to always be she loves Superman, but not Clark, and Clark just wants her to love her as Clark. Like we've seen that before, and now
Mhm.
this is a different version. And seeing Superman and Lois in conflict with each other, like this, in something that is sort of a reversal of the iconic, like sequence that we remember so well, is going to be very interesting. It's not just a reversal in terms of the conflict, but also, we're not on top of a rooftop. We're in like a little living room. It's
Yeah,
not
it's
Superman
very
in costume.
personal.
Yeah.
It's not like this big, huge, like operatic thing. It's very like scaled down. It's like it's like kind of like a way of like it just seems like a couple arguing and
Mhm.
like in like an apartment versus like like him in his full suit and everything and like not that this movie doesn't have these fantastical elements to it, it definitely does,
Mhm.
but like just having that scene start out with like it starts out very like them kind of flirting back and forth and then it gets really intense. I think this
Mhm.
movie is really gonna kind of test Superman not only physically but definitely like his resolve and everything, and like because you can definitely tell he's kind of buckling under the pressure a
Mhm.
little bit with that. Like I'm not used to seeing Superman get like so defensive over stuff like
Yeah.
that.
But I enjoy that because of the fact that once again, we we need to show the human side. We need the Clark Kent aspect of it. So like Superman, seeing him as somebody who's always like put together, like you don't really picture Christopher Reeve getting defensive in this type of way.
Mhm.
But I like that. I like
Yeah,
that fact because that's the Clark Kent side. It's the whole idea that yes, he's got the powers of a god, but he's just a regular guy type of thing. He's just a regular guy with a
mhm.
good heart, and that's conveyed really well in that. Like that's kind of the spirit of Superman that I like. That's in my Adventures of Superman is
Mhm.
how that version of Clark is similar to this in the sense that it's about like, hey, I'm just a guy trying to do the right thing, and he's just sort of frustrated by the rest of the world or being hampered in certain ways or not being able to have a regular life, like things that you and I would probably go through if you just added superpowers to our life. It's the stuff
Yeah,
that makes him relatable. If it's just about powers and action and punching things, then that does fall or make it seem true that criticism that Superman is just all about like powers and he's not flawed. I'm like, well, no, he is like there's a difference between powers and character traits. He can have all these different powers. It's about the character traits that make him flawed. If he's already somebody who buckles under pressure, like what we're seeing, where he's having issues with the pressure, of all this, or
Mhm.
gets defensive with Lois and has to sort stuff out with Lois and mature in some ways. Like that makes him more relatable. You can still have those character traits. You can still have character flaws in somebody who has all the powers of a god.
Yeah. I know, well, that's the other thing too, is like, and not necessarily like he's much more of a Moses figure, but if I were to
Mhm.
kind of compare it to something, it's kind of like, and this isn't a religious thing, this is more of just an observation.
Mhm.
Jesus in like the text of the Bible gets mad over
Oh
stuff
yeah.
that's like,
Mhm.
kind of related to things that like are justified for him to
Yeah.
get mad about, like that you get. It's not like him just getting angry about something that doesn't make sense. With this one, he's getting like in the Bible, it's he's getting like angry because people are misusing the temple and everything.
Mhm.
But in this, it's much more like he's getting defensive because he's like, look, I had to go save those people. It's not like, it's like he went into that war zone and everything in this and like, kind of helped out. And like her point is she's trying to look at it from like a global like political thing. And Superman in his head, he's like we hear in the comics, he's like, I'm Superman of the whole world. He's like,
Mhm.
I'm not just Superman of America, I'm Superman of like everywhere. So like he helps out everywhere. I mean, we see that in Superman and Lois where he goes and helps out. There's like a sub or
Mhm.
something like that where he helps out these people and then the military's chewing them out being like, well, why didn't you get like their weapons or something like that? He's
Mhm.
like, that's not why I was there. I was there
Yeah.
to like save these people. It's that same kind of thing.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. So why don't we kind of go back and revisit certain parts so that because we might have missed stuff because again, we were watching this in real time.
Hey,
So
give me another excuse to watch this trailer again, man. It sounds good to
so
me.
we'll restart and just let me know whenever you want to pause, and I'll pause whenever I see stuff
Okay.
to talk about. DC Bullet logo,
Are you
classic.
being serious right now?
Metropolis looking
Yeah.
nice. Nice little
You'd
flirty
let me interview
stuff.
you
I
as
like that
Sure.
he nicknames her
It
Cronkite.
was his, I kind of, he let her do it. Like, she was like, are you sure?
Ready?
Mhm.
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
Miss
She's so
Lane.
good.
I like this shift, the Miss Lane. That voice.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, that's Superman.
Yeah, he put the well, you noticed too, like there was that thing like a while back, it was that TikTok trend where it's like so and so like watch my friend for a bit or like watch Clark for a
Oh
bit.
yeah.
He's like watch who? Like he was doing that, like that little
Mhm.
trend. I remember seeing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
definitely puts on a little bit of a voice for this.
It's cool too because of the fact that he's not even in the costume.
Mhm.
So you see this transition and you know what he's doing without the benefit of the visual,
Well,
right?
it's like in like the Batman the Animated Series
Mhm.
where it was the first
Leather Wings, yeah.
episode, Leather Wings,
Mhm.
yeah, where he just effortlessly like changes from like his deep Batman
Yeah.
voice to like his hey doc,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, like where he
Mhm.
effortlessly switches back and forth, like his performance, and like even Christopher Reeve with like that test footage scene that they ended up putting into the Donner cut for Superman too. Even as like not fit as he was then, like you could just see a transformation when
Mhm.
he thought he was like he transforms Superman and his chest like he bumps up
Right.
and like kind
Mhm.
of just straightens up and it's a whole different character. Like you
Yeah.
buy that people could buy these were two different people.
Yeah, I was totally thinking Reeve as well when, Clark visits her right after Superman flies away, and then he's tempted to tell her, and he takes the glasses off and he straightens up. Like it's such a quintessential part of Reeve's performance that makes it so iconic. And so this is kind of the, like a subtle equivalent of it.
Yeah, definitely.
Recently, you've
Okay, so there's a ship over there. That might be the ship that was in the, there was a set photos of like all the people getting out of the
Wait,
ship. So
did he? What is that like a spaceship?
I don't know. I don't know because that could just be a futuristic type of thing or one of Mr. Terrific's tech or
come
something.
under a lot of fire for what
Okay, so people are
sounds
pissed
right.
at him.
It's a lot.
You got that dude who's throwing. I wonder how much that guy got paid for that. It's probably like
Yeah.
you get to be the guy who throws a can at Superman's head.
Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your
So this is interesting, right? Because the Peacemaker season 2 trailer reveals that Rick Flag Sr. is the head of Argus, but this is also implying that he's the Secretary of Defense. So like maybe he's both, but
Maybe he has
Rick
a lot
Flag's
of hats. Yeah, he
yeah.
looks kind of different in this one too.
Mhm.
from memory, he might have. Does he have like different hair in the? I'd have to go see it, but I feel like the Peacemaker.
I think it's a different, maybe a different hairstyle in Peacemaker.
Some
season
time
2.
has passed clearly to
Yeah.
show in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
My actions. I stopped a
No, it's the drums. Dun, 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 dun,
He's
dun.
not used to answering for this either. You see how he kind of like he like laughs like he thinks she's being ridiculous here. He's
Yeah.
like, I helped you out. Like I help people out. Like why are you giving me the third degree about this? Basically.
Yeah, and the thing is, he signed up for this, right? Because he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can interview me.
Yeah.
He
It's
thought
like
she was
that.
going to softball on him.
That's funny.
My actions.
It's
Stop
because
the
they're
war.
dating. He probably thinks she's gonna like throw
Yeah.
some softballs to him, or it's like that
Mhm.
one sensitive friend where it's like, oh yeah, like roast me or something like that. Like like tell me, like oh yeah, me, do me kind of thing. And then,
The Key and Peele sketch where there's the Peele's the burned guy. He's like, do me, and then the guy does like a really really light joke, and he's just like, "Ugh."
yeah, exactly.
Amazing. This war thing is great because it always stood out to me in reading Action Comics #1 how Superman stops a war between these fictional countries. With he takes the leader of one country, grabs the other one. It's like, do you guys know how you're fighting? They're like, no, and they're just like, well, you better stop this war. And they're like, all right, let's do it, and then that's it. And I'm like, okay, this is probably not going to be as simple as that, but it's going to be some version of that.
Or even
based off what
the
we see here.
Hitler and Stalin thing where he goes, I remember that, the greatest Superman stories ever told. I had that trade paperback, and they
Mhm.
had that part where he picks them both up and just drops them off at the
Oh,
UN
yeah, this is
and
probably
everything.
the version of it.
Yeah.
That's a cool shot of him
Yeah,
getting.
definitely.
That's how he gets all burned up.
Dude, this is the most like Fleischer-esque Superman I think I've seen. Like in terms of like
Oh, this
how
bit.
he
That's true. That is very Fleischer. This bit
Yeah.
here.
just with like how he the physicality of it too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Uh,
We just need like a beam to shoot at him, and then he just
Yeah,
punching his way up through it.
Yeah.
All right. So the Daily Planet. We've seen this shot before, but it's cool to see it again. We've got Lois, we've got Cat Grant, Ron Troop, Steve Lombard, Jimmy Olsen, and in the background are Siegel and Schuster's, current. Their grandsons, right over here.
Is that the part of the family that's suing them, or is that somebody else? Because I know part
I don't know
of
if it's them because that would be really shitty.
is it the Siegel family? It's one of the. It's either the Siegel or the
Or
Schuster.
Schuster's, yeah.
They're
But I
suing.
don't think it's these two specifically. So
It's them. They were just like, I want more of a scene. Damn it.
that's what this was about.
Yeah.
All right.
and
So
not maybe.
moving
we
forward.
did.
In effect, you
All right. So now we got
illegal-
the engineer and then the character that everyone says is Ultraman, Rick Flag. So we've seen
Do you
this.
think that's Ultraman? Like, what do you think?
He does have a U on it. My thing is, if Ultraman is a clone of Superman, then that's not really Ultraman. Ultraman is Earth 3's evil version of Superman, like Clark Luthor in Smallville for the millennials.
They are setting up multiverse though, and Peacemaker.
In Peacemaker. Yeah, I just don't think this would be the way to do it. Where like what he shows up here and then is working with the Secretary of Defense. Like I
could
just
see. I could kind of see a moment where like his suit gets blown
the
off
mask.
though.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then like it's like him like looking all crazed or something like that. Like I could kind of see that maybe something like that.
I think this is going to be if it is what people are saying with it being a clone of Superman, then it's going to be like basically Bizarro without, or maybe he becomes Bizarro towards the end, where he just gets more and more messed up.
They
I
could
don't know,
pull
but it'd be like
CW.
Bizarro without it,
They
without
could
the
pull
stuff.
CW where they have him look like one way and then like pivot to another character basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is we don't really know.
Until the
Much detail.
toys come out, and then they'll probably tell us.
Just like with the Phantasm, when you just take the Phantasm thing up, it's like, oh.
It's like, damn it, not again.
So, but yeah, we don't know. So that's not really spoilers from us. That's just kind of just us commenting on speculation online. So as far as we're concerned, it's just a guy with a U on his chest who fights Superman at one
It's
point.
Black Noir. We all know this.
Yeah.
country.
Right.
This is how you're gonna be?
I'm not the one being interviewed, Superman.
Oh,
He's that guy's definitely got something for him to be able to shove Superman's head into the pavement.
yeah.
Did you consult
This is interesting. They said, "Do you consult with the president?" And it cuts to Lex. So is Lex the president in the DCU?
Do you think that's like just clever cutting or something like that? Because I feel like that'd be more of a thing. Like if he was like
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I'm not opposed to it. Like I would like to see it. It's not the first time we've seen Lex Luthor be president in something. Bring up Smallville,
Mhm.
Brady's favorite show. I always give him a hard time about that. Brady hasn't seen much of the show, but
Yeah.
he's president in that one too. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like that'd be kind of like a cool direction. People have kind of wanted that. Brief tangent. They
Mhm.
were going to have the original plans as Al Goff and Miles Miller were going to have the finale be an interview between Clark Kent and Lex Luthor as president, like, and it would cut
Really?
back and forth between like past and like the future, basically, with that interview. Yeah, that was their idea.
I would have loved that because to
Yeah,
me, the core of Smallville was not just Clark becoming Superman. It was Clark and Lex. It was
yeah.
that friendship. And so when Lex was not part of the show anymore, they made do, but it was never the same because I'm just like you kind of just had to change what the show was about. To me, it was always about those
Mm,
two.
yeah.
But yeah, this would be interesting. It does seem like okay, it's a little soon for him to already be president with this, but then again, it's like, well, this is the upteenth Superman adaptation. You need to do some other stuff or pull from other things, or not
Real
just
estate.
we just we just got to wait till X number of movies before he becomes president. Like just do it from the top, especially if it does tie him in with Rick Flag Sr. If Rick
Mhm.
Flag Sr. is Secretary of Defense, so naturally then President Luthor would be his boss. So that does tie them more in together, but we don't know. It might just be clever cutting, as you said, but it does seem to imply it with this edit.
I'm not opposed to it, man. I'd like to see that
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
With the president,
No.
you seemingly acting as a
Also, the way that he reacts to that too,
representative.
like he might be doing that just because he wouldn't-
His face here.
I love pausing. Dan, maybe put this one in the thumbnail.
Yeah. That's our reaction. Ah.
But yeah, maybe he's exasperated just because he's being cross-examined by his girlfriend here. But maybe there's another element of
Also,
just
he's
like,
had
well,
Cans
Lex
thrown at
Luthor's the
his
goddamn
head.
president, so no.
He's had cans and stuff thrown
about
at
his
his
head?
head too. He's had like a bunch of cans and
Oh yeah,
stuff
yeah.
thrown at him too.
Yeah.
So it's probably partially that too. He didn't think that people would be being
Mhm.
this critical of somebody who's just trying to help them out.
Yeah, that's true.
I wasn't
United States
representing
will cause
anybody
more
except for me
problems around the world.
and doing good.
Rescuing
I'm sure
a
he's
girl
heard
that
that
was in the-
from everybody.
What from everybody?
Sorry. I'm sure he's been hearing that kind of talk from everybody. I'm sure
Yeah.
she's not the only one to be saying that because it sounds like he's like where he's like, oh, only representing me. I'm sure that he's get like under scrutiny from like I'm sure he hears it on like
Mhm.
the news and everything. And this is probably her interviewing him, if I had to guess, like narratively. This is probably a scene where he's getting interviewed because people are being so hypercritical of him.
Mhm.
Like, so it's like one of those things like, let's set the record straight kind of thing. But she's gonna be asked the questions people will, but like she's hoping that he actually has like answers instead of getting mad at her. Like
Yeah.
Lois's biggest strength in her, like one of her weaknesses is like her need to like get the story basically,
Mhm.
or like to be like 100% like objective and like cut through stuff basically. So
Yeah.
it's very much in this, which I she's gonna kill it. I love Rachel Brosnahan.
Yeah, no, she's great so far.
Yeah.
Myself in the same situation, and
So we've got this guy. I forgot the name of him, but he's the guy that's in the newspaper that people saw, who everyone thought was Gorilla Grodd from Creature Commandos, but he's someone else. And he looks like he's got heat vision.
Do you
Based on
think
what we hear.
speaking of Fleischer, do you think this is kind of like a callback to that robot? Like there's that doesn't he fight some robots in the old one kind of?
That'd be cool. That'd be cool if that's the case. I don't know. Because we
Yeah.
don't seem that much. It seems like he's just around to fight Superman in one sequence.
consider the
And like this part, right?
consequences.
People were going to die.
I love how passionate, like you can tell he really cares.
Yeah. Yeah, which is what you need.
Mm-hmm.
I can just feel the critics of the Superman being like, "Oh, he needs a human to save him. What a weakling." I'm just like, no,
Like,
it's not.
you guys don't get it. It's okay. No, he needs to make out with Lois in a totally torn up city.
Thing is, there is this fair amount of city destruction, like we can see here. So
But he's
I'm
trying
not
to
really looking
save
for the
people.
discourse. Looking forward to the discourse of comparing the two. But
Yeah, he's trying to save people. Also,
Mhm.
I heard recently, like somebody was covering the Man of Steel thing, and they they got really dark with it. They were talking about, yeah, they're out there just breathing in other people after like everybody's dead, and then like Lois and Clark are making out in front of
Mhm.
basically like the equivalent to like like a global, not a global, but like a national disaster, basically.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah, this one he
So
seems to care. So
yeah.
Eyes up here.
it's like, stop looking at my S.
What I like about the line with this too is it feels like a very old fashioned type of thing. Like one of the influences on this that I think Gunn talked about was Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, which is a movie about, Jimmy Stewart is this is this sort of more naive guy who's like, "Oh, I'm going to make a difference in Washington," and then he just gets so involved with seeing how much corruption is there, and
Mhm.
he has to remain being him. He has to remain being, the one who fights for the little guy type of thing. And I think that carries over into what he's talking about here about like defending his actions with stopping the war, and then here as well with just sort of like the old fashioned speak type of thing. Like it's sort of it feels like it's Gunn's way of addressing the fact that this is a guy who grew up on a farm with like very the heart of America, the heart of Americana was what he grew up around, like that type of
Mhm.
thing. So I do like this little moment here because it's sort of that old fashioned nature that I hadn't realized until like kind of just examining this. That I'm like, oh yeah, that is a cool element that would separate him from other people. I guess it's kind of like a Captain America thing with Steve Rogers specifically,
Maybe
but
in
it
Smallville
works
it was
here.
maybe in Smallville it was simpler too. Maybe like he saved some people there and
Hmm.
people weren't as like hypercritical of stuff. Like they just
Probably, yeah.
accepted stuff much more. I could see Smallville there being people that are much more just face value stuff and
Hmm.
don't even ask like those deeper questions. They're just thankful someone's out there like protecting them, and that maybe that tight knit community versus like the city where people are maybe a little bit more cynical and like kind of like maybe slightly more paranoid due to people like Lex that are
Hmm.
also drumming up this anti Superman sentiment and everything, calling him like an it and like othering
Hmm.
him and everything. I'm sure that doesn't help either.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. Let's keep going. We're gonna get to a lot of stuff next. There was a certain part where there was shot after shot after shot after shot. Where
What do you
it
think
just
of the rotating fortress, by the way?
it's a cool idea to reimagine it. That's a shot to pause on. It's a cool, it's a cool idea to let's see this again with the rotating one.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you meant
because
that same shot. I was like, Ben.
yeah, because like the Fortress of Solitude in the Silver Age comics was simply it was in a mountain. You've got to put the key inside of it, twist it, and then you go inside the mountain. This whole crystal thing does come from the Donner movies, so it is a carryover from it's another carryover from Superman 78, but it's a carryover that everything kind of everything kind of took it from that movie. It sort of reimagined what the fortress could be, and I like the rotating aspect of it. To me, is what helps make it like different, makes it different from the other times we've seen the crystal version of the fortress.
Also, I made the point too. Like, it's like people assume that that's the only part of it. What if there's levels like underneath? Like, what if
Probably.
it has floors to it and everything in hallways, like an All
Mhm.
Star and everything, where like they have like the Titanic and
Mhm.
one part of it, and, like some other stuff too. It's like we're probably only seeing a section of it, basically.
Yeah, because we're looks like we have an action sequence that happened in there too, so we're definitely going to see a good amount of it. It's not
Yeah,
just that sequence that ended up from being online from CinemaCon.
yeah.
All right, so her costume changes, which is kind of cool. We don't really get to see what it looks from,
That's gonna be a cool toy, by the way, when that comes
the
out. The
engineer one.
engineer,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Crypto looks like he's
Oh,
pissed because look at they've already destroyed some of the robots here.
mm-mm.
Poor baby.
Not Calyx.
Maybe not. Oh, she's ferocious. She's taking them out. She's clearly looking with Lex. Lex is walking in stone cold. Look at that.
Choices.
Well, it's been brought up before too. Like Lex keeps showing up in the Fortress. We've got Lex showing up in the Fortress in Superman 2. We've got Spacey doing it in Superman Returns. Rosenbaum did it in Smallville, right? Towards the end of
Yeah, because he was
Season
in
7.
there. Yeah, I was trying to think if there's any other times like in the cartoons or anything, but I think it's only been has it only been live action stuff?
I don't remember if he's done it in the cartoons.
I feel like
I
it's
don't think
gotta
it
be.
happened in Superman the Animated Series. So let us know. It's been a while since I've watched it.
Well, I think that's probably also a callback because then I know this isn't Smallville Minute, but I know in there they changed it from because originally they had the caves, and then I think they got a note because of Superman Returns. It's like make it closer to like
Mhm.
the Donner movies, and so that's when he got the more crystal-like fortress, and then
Yeah.
started leading into more of that imagery and
With the
everything.
Terrence
never
Stamp,
quite-
Evil Jor-El.
Yeah, we've never quite moved on. Not that I'm 100% complaining, but this one seems to be taking elements of it, but also making it its own like new thing. But I don't think we've ever fully moved on from like the imagery of that, other than like Man of Steel and like some other stuff. It seems like it's kind of just even that one. That one is a taking the elements of 78 and also Superman 2 and remixing them into
Yeah.
like one movie with like different parts. Like we haven't fully been able to
No,
move
totally.
away from it 100%. This one seems to be taking those elements and moving into the future, which is nice.
Yeah, but it is like you said, it is still rooted from that. The fortress, I mean, it's kind of difficult to not imagine a crystal type fortress these days. I do like how originally when Supergirl was on CBS, they actually did do the key thing in the mountain.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, oh shit, like somebody finally did it, and they didn't continue it afterwards at all in that show Horde Superman and Lois, but still,
Did they have the
it was
little
cool.
key? Because I know in All Star they had like the little tiny key that was like made of like dwarf star and
Yeah,
everything.
that's what they did in Supergirl instead of the
Oh,
giant one. She
that's
flies Jimmy
cool.
over there, and they did the dwarf star one. I'm just like, okay, somebody did it. Somebody did the original Silver Age version of the entrance.
It's been a minute. That's really cool though.
Yeah. So Crypto versus the Engineer. That's not a sequence I was betting on, but that's kind of cool. There's somebody in a snowsuit as well. Who I'm
Oh,
betting
he got her too. Like he's fucking her up.
Yeah. I'm betting that's Miss Tessmacher on the left.
Oh, on the ground that just fell.
Yeah, because it's not Lex. Lex is
Oh, the
wearing
robots
something.
are kind of fighting her too, though.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. It's not Lex because Lex walks in with the Engineer.
You know what that reminds me of?
Hold on.
With these robots, it's you remember the Kevin Smith Superman Lives thing? It's like
Yes.
yeah. It's like he's got to go up
Polar
there
bears.
and fight somebody. It's like like what if he fights like a polar bear or something like that? It's like he doesn't need anybody. It's the Fortress of Solitude. He's by himself up there.
They got to guard the Fortress of Solitude. It's like they need polar bears to guard the Fortress of Solitude.
Yeah, you want to razzle a polar bear?
Animal abuse.
Yeah,
Superman's committing
man.
animal abuse by hiring them as guards.
John Peters doesn't work with these anymore, does he?
I'm sure we would have heard by now, but no.
Okay,
I doubt
good.
it.
Thank God.
I don't think James Gunn would tolerate that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's Miss Tessmacher in the back. And it's kind of a callback to where Superman 2 again.
With the she's got like a park on or something.
Yeah. I think that's her. And I think that's
Nice.
like what Valerie Perrine was wearing in Superman 2.
Mm-hmm.
So
Choices.
Lex in the sunglasses. Yeah, she's taking cover. Looks like Crypto did some damage to the Engineer. We see right here. Like she grabs her face, and it looks like he knocked off some bit of flesh. Because look at that. There's some bit that kind of got off.
Like a robot.
Yeah, because I think she's mostly metallic in the comics. The Engineer.
Yeah. Okay.
You know? So it's like Metallo thing with or Terminator.
I'm not as
tissue over metal
familiar.
endoskeleton.
I'm not as familiar with the mythology of the Engineer.
Yeah. Neither am I. We're all going to learn in July.
Or we won't. Maybe he'll change it like he does some other things.
That's true. That's true. We still don't know who these people are on the left, but it's probably LexCorp type people. Superman punches through.
It looks like there's other cases there too. Like there's other like glass cases.
Yeah, there's someone else on the right that might be Metamorpho.
Maybe he's got a lot of them in prison.
Yeah. So Superman breaks out. Then we've got this woman running for her life from, this might be the kaiju.
I think
Yeah,
so. It looks like a foot.
Yeah. And then we've got Jonathan Kent's words over it. Lois and Clark hugging as there's this jellyfish looking thing in the background that we've seen since the costume reveal.
That's after she yelled at him during the it's like, it's okay.
I'm sorry, Clark.
Hurt his feelings.
So
little Clark.
This obviously flashback, and then we've got Pruitt Taylor Vince with, looking more young in this
It's
flashback.
weird seeing him with hair, man. Like, even though I'm not as used to seeing this guy, it's weird.
Yeah. This for sure shows. We'll see in a bit. But what I'm happy about, this is skipping ahead a little bit. I'm happy about the Kents are alive when Superman is in the costume. They didn't do, like, maybe Jonathan Kent will die later on, just like in the post-crisis era. But I
hope not, man.
I hope not either. But like it's refreshing from the movie standpoint because once again, Shadow of Superman 78 wasn't the first time that Jonathan Kent died, or Paul Kent died in this case of a heart attack, or him dying before Clark becomes Superman. But
the George Reeves one, right?
The what?
The George Reeves one in the pilot where he's like he's Eben in that one.
Yeah. George Reeves had that, and then also, but I mean, to be fair, it was in the comics too, where the dying Pa Kent was there. But once they had Pa Kent alive in post-crisis, it kind of shocked me that they never really carried that over into the movies. It kind of, you get to Man of Steel and just like, okay, he has to die from this tornado thing, and you're like, okay, but like, why did you need to do that? Like, it could have been cool to have Kevin Costner around with Cavill in the suit.
No, the world wasn't ready, Ben.
We got Mr. Terrific coming out of the T-sphere.
Looks great.
So looks a great shot. Let's see. And he's taking down what looks like those LexCorp soldiers. Yeah, the purple ones.
Nice.
Right.
Got Kendra Sandra right there.
Oh yeah, that might be her instead of Lois.
Yeah,
maybe.
See the yellow on the jacket.
Yeah, but I thought that hers was like black and yellow. This is just yellow. Isn't there a shot of like Lois being protected by the T-sphere in the other trailer?
I mean, you might be right, but hold on. Because the hair is different. The hair's a different shade. Maybe it's the lighting.
I think it's Lois.
You might be right.
All right, let's take bets on this. Let us know in the comments.
All right, let's flip a coin. Who do you think it is?
Lex in the fortress. So we get a little bit of Nicholas Holt's dialogue as Lex saying Superman.
Man.
Holt looks like he's unhinged as Lex.
Yeah, dude, I love this. It's great.
So we'll get kind of the style of maybe Birthright type Lex in this. We'll see.
Birthright all the way through, actually.
You've read it, or
no? I haven't. I've read like the beginning of it. People recommend it so much, and I have liked it, or liked what little bit I've read. But I read Earth One, like, and I really like that one. But I just haven't finished it yet. But I definitely read All Star, which I feel like this probably also takes a good bit from where like he's all about the exceptionalness of like man and everything, and like the whole thing of like Superman, basically like having his finger on the scale, like it not being fair, like him having an unfair advantage and everything.
Yeah,
I could see this definitely, because this definitely takes a lot from All Star in terms of the feel and like the general. But I mean, even look the robots, like the vibe of it too. Like there's a lot of visual inspiration here from that.
We've got the Kents over Superman, so once again confirmation that both Kents are alive during this time. Yeah, so
he's not a man.
Lex insisting that he's not a man. See, we got Metamorpho in that cell.
Nice.
So nice look at Metamorpho. Really looking forward to that. Really looking forward. Anthony Kerrigan's great, and just being able to incorporate Metamorpho in this is kind of insane when you think about it.
Yeah, could you imagine like 15, like 20 years ago, like somebody told you like one day we're gonna see a live action Metamorpho and it's gonna look good? Like you wouldn't believe that. Like you'd be like, what are you talking about? That guy from the Justice League cartoons? Like, no way, man.
We see the other people in the cells too. We got this girl on the right.
Oh yeah.
arrested. We've got this other person in shadows. I don't know how much of that is just lighting or if that's somebody with superpowers. Let's go back again. Let's see. Yeah, that might be that person's powers or something. Because like, look how
Yeah, they're
I don't know.
standing looking directly at the
Yeah,
people too. Yeah.
yeah. Looks like these LexCorp type robots. Yeah, because you see the LC.
Yeah.
Naturally, they must be either using kryptonite or there's a red sun exposure type of thing. Because
I was laughing at his face again, man.
maybe we use this as the thumbnail.
Yeah.
But yeah, for them to be able to hurt Superman, it's got to be either red sun or kryptonite
Or magic.
or magic. Yeah, that's true. But I don't think. Oh, wait, hold on a second. Did they blast him? Let's see.
I started blasting.
Yeah. All right. This is. Oh yeah, this is him rising up from the smoke. So that's cool.
What is the entire world's conversation?
Then we've got these guys. Hold on. Let's go back a little bit. We've got Kendra, Guy, and Michael. So he's floating thanks to the T-sphere. So that was cool. I really like
Batman to punch him. I'm ready. Ready for Batman.
I really like the
Green
little kid
Lantern
aspect of the flag here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
with
there
the
we go.
Superman.
Also, you see the Green Lantern ring, right? You see it clearly on Guy Gardner here.
Bro, you want to know something crazy?
What's up?
So they're selling. I learned this from another podcast. They're selling like these. I forget what company it is, but they're selling the whole like Green Lantern. It's Kyle Rayner, right? Or is it for the one in this movie? Is it Kyle
It's
Rayner?
Guy Gardner.
Guy Gardner. That's it. Guy Gardner, and they're selling the whole suit, but not the ring. I guess you gotta buy the ring like separate or something. It doesn't come with the whole
That's how
suit.
they
that
get
you
ya.
can dress in. Yeah, it's like, oh, that's a separate purchase. Basically, it's like, come on, man.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Well, luckily, I'm not planning to dress up as Guy Gardner anytime soon.
Yeah, you don't want to do the bowl cut look, Ben.
Not my thing. I think I had enough of that as a kid. Every Asian kid just has that bowl cut. I think
Every '90s kid, man. I feel like.
let's keep going. All right, this kid with the flag that we saw previously, Mr. Terrific's is knocked out over here. Oh, we see a little bit of engineer getting.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
Yeah, like now it's just. I don't think she has hair anymore. Now it's just all the metallic stuff.
That's kind of how she looks in the comics, though. I think with like the little thingy.
Mm-hmm. That this is gonna get memed.
Yeah, totally.
This looks like that dude who does the his name is Dan Henshaw. You know what I mean? Like the guy who does those videos in the car. And he's like always pissed
He's
off.
got
And there's
the
one.
face.
Yeah, he's just like, I am straight. Like this looks just like him.
I didn't know the context of that, but I've definitely seen that guy. That's hilarious. Like you know what this is right here? You could do this and be like the Snyder Bros when the movie comes out and everybody loves it.
Totally.
When they saw Snyder and Gunn together.
Yeah.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
This might be one of my favorite parts. The whole, like, Martha just is prepping him. He's passing by Jonathan. He's ready to go. He takes the thing off, and then he's off as Superman. Like, oh, this is so great. This is so
Do you
post-crisis.
think she designed the suit in this one?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think there's a possibility. I can definitely see the carryover of, thanks, my mom made it for me from Superman for All Seasons, because, that was one of the comics that was influential.
And perfectly done in Superman and Lois, too.
That too, yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe they won't do the exact line, or maybe they will. Who knows? But like that's such a that's the most shared clip from Superman and Lois is that thanks, my mom made it for me. So I don't know if they would want to replicate that or do another variation or just have another way to indicate that she made the costume.
Yeah.
Light. There's that kaiju, which I think some people have brought up to be a variation of like that dinosaur, right from the Fleischer ones.
That's a good point.
So, that's cool. Other Easter eggs to point out here that we've noticed. One is on the left, the Big Belly Burger. So those who are fans of the Flash in particular might remember that. And go check out Alex's podcast, Flashbacks.
Yeah, it's not IHOP this time.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll see if there's a Tom Cavanaugh who's craving Big Belly Burger on this earth. And but the other thing too that I think I've noticed here I believe if you look in the background, oh yeah, hold on.
How
I
come
need
they haven't
another-
franchised that yet, man? Like the Big Belly Burger.
I know for the potential theme park we've talked about for DC
Yeah.
heroes, they need to have a Big Belly Burger.
Yeah. Who do you think that guy is in the background? This guy talking over here. Maybe
That might be Will Reeve. That's who I was.
Oh
talk
yeah,
about.
yeah, that's probably exactly who that is. I was about to
Yeah.
theorize it's what's his
His hair
name?
looks a little different, but maybe they just styled it differently, or
I was
maybe that's
thinking
not.
maybe
I
a
don't know.
Jack Ryder or something. Like if I
Yeah.
had to, that'd be kind of cool if they did that.
Yeah, we'll see. It might not be him, but it's kind of hard to tell because of these shots. And then Guy
I love
Gardner,
that he's doing like that, and then it forms into that.
yeah, and he's just he just swats them away.
Yeah.
That's gonna get meme too. I feel in terms of like to the haters. Hawk Girl getting tossed out. Oh, she's pissed. And then Jimmy.
Jimmy and them dancing.
That looks like Miss Tessmacher.
Is it
taking
though?
photos.
Her look is different. The other one, like her, like she's wearing glasses and it's like bleach blonde, maybe. Maybe
No, that
it's
was
some
Cat
other
Grant.
one.
This is Miss Tessmacher.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
I didn't hear
one
you.
who works for Lex.
Gotcha. Okay.
Somebody throws a desk to the
Oh, look
window.
at the
Looks like
condescending look he's giving. Superman right there.
here's what's interesting. It's Luthor Corp, not Lex Corp.
You think
Another
they're gonna
call
do a
from-
Lionel here? Lex.
I was raised in your shadow. Now you're gonna die in mine.
Yeah. They just bring
maybe.
back John Glover. I'm down for that.
John Glover comes back again to play another character who creates a supervillain and then gets killed, just like in Batman and Robin and Shazam and Smallville.
No, he comes up. I'm not the Lionel you knew.
So, I mean, he could still be Nicholas Holt's dad too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He's so good at playing creepy characters.
Ooh, hold on.
Oh, that looks good.
So, yeah, we can see Superman throw the desk at Lex's thing.
Nice. Oh, he's
which
got like
probably-
what's that, fish tank or something?
Yeah, I think so.
He looks mad there, but they're actually happy.
Yeah, Superman tosses that desk, and then Lex is looking at Superman, and then looks like Terrific is
Underwater?
leading Lois somewhere. Interesting.
Underwater?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Huh.
Because it wouldn't be. I mean, if they're underwater, they wouldn't be able to look like that.
Yeah,
We'll see.
probably right. It was just how the background looks so like
Mhm.
bluish, I guess.
Yeah. Unless Momoa shows up again. It's like, I got two roles. I'm still Aquaman.
It's like no. No double dipping in this universe.
Metamorpho. I keep trying to get his shot here. Hold on. You can also definitely tell it's Kerrigan with that expression.
What if he just plays him like he did the Russian
Mr.
character
Zsasz.
and
and
Barry?
No, Ho Hank. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Superman flying somewhere. We've got this shot, the very controversial shot from the CinemaCon footage. Jesus Christ,
Well, people.
guys, he's screaming because all his organs are getting rearranged. It's not that complicated.
I could make a very crass joke right now, but I'm gonna refrain.
Superman and Lois kissing, flying up. He's going up through the flames. People taking photos, and he falls back down potentially because something hit him there. So we don't know
Watch
what
him
that is.
complain about that. Be like, people are cheering for him, and then he gets knocked back down. Be like, see, you can't even fly right, guys. Like, this guy sucks.
You're probably right in terms of what people will say. Yeah.
People are never happy.
You have a dog.
Oh yeah, that was the other thing.
Yeah.
They like Rachel Brosnahan was interviewed about that, and she was just like, Lois is not a fan of pets, basically. Like that's why like the whole thing, you have a dog, like her
Mhm.
and Crypto at first do not like get along, basically.
That's a
Is
shame.
what she was kind of saying, which is like, I'm sure at the end, like she'll end up being like, because I think in the comics it's like that too, where like they start off like that and then they have to rehome Crypto because he gets aggressive with like one of the criminals where he goes too far and they have to rehome Crypto to like the fortress, and Lois kind of fights for him at first, but like, oh no, we can figure it out. It's like what she like, you know, because she goes bonded to him. I could see something like that where at first she's just like, you got your dog here or something like that, and then after a while towards the end, like she's like, come on Crypto, like she's having like a lot of fun with him and everything.
Yeah, she's turned around on him.
Yeah.
I also can point out here we've got the Smallville Giants on the left, and then we've got the Mighty Crabjoys, which is like a fictional
The
band.
mighty
Crabjoys. It's a fictional band that they put in the
What's that
Peacemaker
from?
trailer as well. I think it's a made up band, I think.
Oh, okay, something just unite the unite the two movies. Or
Yeah.
not the movies and the series. It's this fictional band.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, it's another common thing that gets carried over.
This, by the way, and other people have said this too, but having the dog in this, like you're gonna automatically just have people come in and tune in just to see the dog, like a cute dog in it. Yeah, like that was a brilliant move on Gunn's part.
Super smart.
Yeah.
Wade Street was the other thing.
Nice. At least they're not. At least they're not, as far as we know, like naming characters after it. There's no like, yeah, sure, Colonel Adams or like sure thing. What's it, Reverend Schuster or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the instead of the engineer, it's it's just Mark Wade.
Yeah. Oh man,
just naming all the villains.
Don't ask Mark Wade about what he thinks about the parents, man. Like,
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh my god, it's just like, dude, it's like, oh, it limits him and everything. It's like, dude, it's his parents. Like he goes to them for like some like, like basically it's like I can't figure this out. What do you think of it? Like advice. Like it's healthy to have that. It kind of speaks more about Mark Wade himself that he's got such a problem with like him having his parents around to like help him through stuff he might not be able to figure out on his own. Like I don't know, man. Like I like the parents, and I used to think like other people did that, like, oh, like even when I made my my Superman comic, I was planning eventually to kill off Jonathan because I thought that's just what you do with that stuff. I'm like, no, like look at the Superman animated series. They didn't kill him off there. And then like even the post-crisis, they for the longest time Jonathan was around in that version as well. So I mean, you don't necessarily have to kill off the Kents and these.
No, I don't think so. I think that it helps with the relatability too. Or that like they help you sort of see, hey, like it's the whole average Joe thing I was talking about. Like, hey, they're just like you. That sort of aspect to it.
Definitely. Yeah, and this one, speaking of being just like us, this one is the most relatable, I think, or one of the most relatable Superman we've had, probably. Well, I mean, Superman and Lois was that to an extent, but this one much more in terms of just like physically, like his power set and everything. Like he's not like invincible in this. Like you see him getting like knocked around. He's also he's not like the Justice League animated series Superman the first season where just like any blast or anything would just knock him on his ass after like 5 seconds.
Right.
But yeah, so definitely. What are you looking forward to? Like what are some of the standouts of this trailer for you personally?
Well, Crypto is always a standout for this. I think one of the things I'm really curious about is the other heroes, what roles they play in the movie. And Lex Luthor, like Lex Luthor is a character who seems like they continuously mess up what makes him interesting, it feels. And I'm looking forward to seeing if this is the one where they bring all the stuff that we love about the TV versions of Lex and they bring it to life in this.
Yeah, they can't quite nail it. Also, I got one complaint. Where is I didn't see any piss jars in this one. Where's where's the pee jars in this one, or the Jolly Ranchers? I didn't see him shove any Jolly Ranchers in people's mouths in this one. Continue to
automatic
me to this day, like that he made those decisions.
What are you looking forward to then? Since there's no piss jars.
Definitely Rachel Brosnahan's Lois. I love that Marvelous Miss Maisel show. I actually, funnily enough, I checked that out back when like I was in anticipation for this. I'm like, I've
Mhm.
heard so many people talk about this show, and I'm really looking forward to the Superman movie. Let me just see this actress. Let me just see like her
Mhm.
act and see what maybe a version of or what she's capable of to kind of give me an idea of like what her Lois could be.
Mhm.
And that's one of the most amazing shows I think I've ever seen. One of my favorite series of all time
Mhm.
is that one. It's hilarious, but she's going to be great. We've obviously seen in this part she's great. I'm looking forward to just more of like the comic book elements of this, like just the kind of like the more like while it's very comic booky, he's not like invincible. That's that Silver Age, like in terms of like the look and feel and like the
Mhm.
all-star stuff, but also he's not invincible like he was in the Silver Age. You're not going to see this Superman wrap a chain around like a planet and like pull it behind his back and everything. Like it's very much like the Fleischer-esque thing, or like kind of like because I'm wearing this right
The
now.
Action Comics, yeah.
Yeah, kind of like that one where he's kind of grounded,
Mhm.
and that one even I mean look back, and that one he couldn't even fly yet. He just like leapt over
Mhm.
stuff, so he wasn't even quite invincible in that. And I'm kind of looking forward to the relatability, not just in terms of physical stuff, because anyone can write the ones where he gets knocked on his ass a few times and he's a little less powerful. But
Yeah.
this one, you see, just like from an emotional standpoint, he's not always put together or knows the answer to everything. If anything, he seems to be still figuring that out. And maybe over the course of this, we'll kind of see him kind of get like while not sacrificing the human element of them,
Mhm.
maybe get slightly closer to that more like together and collected
Mhm.
version of Superman that we're familiar with. But I like this
Yeah.
different version. Obviously, Lex, like you said, Lex looks great. He's very unhinged in this. I can't not it's unhinged in a good way, not unhinged in a bad way, like BVS, where it's just like, what the hell are you doing? Like
Mhm.
this one, I'm looking forward to see what like just basically what they get into. Him kind of just he feels like he's off the page with like othering like Superman and
Mhm.
everything. Like
Yeah, for
that
sure.
stuff is great. And then I'm looking to see how the other characters, the other heroes, how they fit into the story, like what their role ultimately is. But
Mhm.
yeah, I would describe myself as just very optimistic. I think it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot as well what you ended up bringing up, which was the relatability factor, right? Because I think there's an opportunity here to really change the perception of Superman as a relatable character, because you hear it all the time. It's people. It's the most common thing. It's the most basic bitch opinion on Superman is that he's too powerful. You hear it like you don't even always even hear it on comic book conventions. It's so common for non comic fans to say it. So like you would hear it at the bar. You would hear it at like I used to be a Lyft driver, so I think you would hear it from like people who would be passengers, and they would always bring that up, and it's just like it's to the point where it's annoying now.
Yeah.
Like it's outdated. It's sort of like this welcoming that we have uh, towards this character. So I think that it's about time, and I hope that that changes. Like this ends up changing the perception of that.
Yeah, we can only hope. I know, like, also, it's just one of those things that people hear once and they're like, oh, that sounds good. Kind of like with people like, oh, the
Mhm.
MCU has fallen off. People have been saying that since, like, after, like, even in phase one, people are like, oh, I don't know about this. Like, this movie sucks. People have been saying that from the very beginning. People have this
Mhm.
weird perception just because there's one or two movies they don't like, all of a sudden the
Mhm.
MCU is like fallen or something.
Mhm.
There's sometimes like you guys made a video. It's like the whole thing with why isn't Superman or not Superman? Why does Batman not use his money to help? Blah blah blah. It's
Mhm.
like there's these buzzwords or these like popular like things that get going. It's just because it sounds good. It's not because they
Mhm.
themselves have actually done any research or actually looked into the characters. Just because it sounds good and it kind of just
Mhm.
circulates through the masses, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully this ends up leading to a change in all that, because we're tired of that, and we try to go up against all the popular opinions, or all popular, like, it seems like misinformed opinions, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, and with that, I think it's time to bring up something that I've discovered recently about you, Alex, which is, I think that a lot of people have been bringing up that you actually have you've been holding out on me for this whole time. I didn't realize that you had a famous celebrity that was related to you.
I guess the truth's finally coming out. No, no, I am not. For the last time, I don't care what Google says. I am not Bella Ramsey's father. You send me a screenshot, and on Google it has a picture of Bella Ramsey, and it says father, and it says Alex Ramsey. So, like, recently, even in my info, I have put, I'm Alex, no relation to Bella, just because I constantly get messages from people. So, to set the record straight,
Mhm.
I am not Bella Ramsey's dad.
You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry to disappoint. And also, Bella Ramsey's English.
Dude, you're assuming people do research online before they comment something.
Like you, I haven't seen the show myself, so I like.
I kind of don't want
it's
it
one of the
now. After all this, I'm good. I don't want to see it.
We're not. We have no plans to cover that show. It's not a superhero related thing.
No, it's not going to help. People are going to just be like, "Oh, it's just nepotism." You're just gonna.
No. So, yeah, I mean that pretty much wraps it up for what we've got. We still have other episodes coming for you guys, so this is releasing beforehand, but we do have the episode where we cover the Daredevil script from 2001 that led into or became the 2003 Daredevil movie. So we do our first script deep dive in a long period of time. Alex joins me on this. We switch off on the script stuff, so that's coming out it's coming up pretty soon, fairly soon. For that, and then we'll have other announcements too. As you can see, my place is kind of a mess as well. That might
What are you
affect some
talking about? It
scheduling
looks
stuff,
great.
you don't have to be nice about it. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you can see I can move around, but yeah, we've got all various knickknacks all over the place. We've got a blanket, as well as like the old thing I used to have to put on my Lyft driver thing on top of the car. The
I
the
thought that
big
was like a
mustache.
penguin prop in the background or
Yeah.
something. I was looking at it from a
Right.
distance.
So I've got that. I've got like all these boxes here. I've got my
We're getting the real behind the scenes look over here.
yeah, I know, right? I've got my couch where I've been sleeping, and it's all because of a broken pipe in my place. And yeah, we've been joking back and forth about how the Riddler took out my bat cave, just
Son
like
of a bitch.
in Batman Forever. So yeah, we'll that might affect some schedule stuff, but that's also why you don't see the usual background and other things. But yeah, full disclosure, I've been in the middle of a lot of reconstruction type stuff, and so everything's all messed
You know
up.
what you
And
should have done?
what?
You should have taken a picture of like before and like just had like the Zoom background or something. Just have it like be like the outline of you.
I should
right
have.
here. Just have that back there.
It'll be like, wait a minute.
Yeah, hold on. It's just something to look right here.
Oh well, yeah. But yeah, it's all been messed up. But yeah, hopefully things will go back to normal soon. And yeah, that might affect a few things, but we're gonna forge ahead. And the other thing that I think we might as well announce, because it was kind of on the down low for a little bit until word got out about the screening that's happening in LA on May 29th at basically in LA with the Batman Forever the Schumacher cut, and it is the same cut, the same work print cut that was shown on the Kevin Smith theaters, and we're going to be covering it. I'll be there,
Yeah.
so we'll be doing an episode on that. Might bring in some other people for that episode, but we're definitely going to do an episode for that. The Patreon guys will get that first as early access, but we're planning to have that publicly released on June 16th, Monday, June 16th, because we usually release on Mondays. But Monday, June 16th is also the 30th anniversary date for the US release for Batman Forever. So we kind of had to do that for that. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to covering
promising. It's promising that they're doing that, because at first it was just the Kevin Smith one, and he had to be very not direct with like what he was doing. Like it was one of those things where like secretly it was that, and this one's very open that that's what they're doing. So it is promising that like they're doing that, and there hasn't been any like, oh, you can't show that or anything. So maybe there's but fingers crossed, there's a physical release. Also, I'm going to say this now, behind the scenes, look for a second. We said before we were going to record a shorter episode, and we ended up clocking in at about like an hour.
It is a shorter episode.
Yeah, for us.
Shorter than like 2 hours.
Yeah, that's true. You guys could probably knock this out like in a little bit. It's a little shorter one, a bite-sized episode for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yep. So yeah, nice little mini episode of superhero stuff you should know, considering we've been averaging about like 2 to 2.5 hours per.
People like it though, from what
recordings.
I've heard.
Yeah, I haven't heard any complaints. Podcasting is meant to be for when you're on, on the road or be split up. So
Definitely.
cool. I think we're good. So yeah, with that is superhero stuff you should know. Thanks, guys, and see you next time.